Well, hey everybody, Andy Kvernen here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. Recently, I was packing for a trip, and I needed a little water bottle to hold some liquid that I needed to take with me, and I was scouring our kitchen cabinets for just the right one, and I was proud of myself. I reached behind a bunch of stuff. I found the perfect little Nalgene water bottle that was going to suit my needs just right, and I filled it up, and I started hauling it over to my suitcase, and I realized as I was hauling it that the bottle had a crack in it, that the water was leaking out, and my pride and my sort of satisfaction of just having the right thing and of searching for it and finding it and bringing it over, that satisfaction quickly turned to disappointment. That water bottle wasn't going to suit me. Now, that's fairly inconsequential. In fact, it's extremely inconsequential. I just found a different water bottle and away we went. But it reminds me of the passage that we're reading in today's Bible reading plan here at Cornerstone in Jeremiah chapter 2. Of course, Jeremiah is speaking to the nation of Israel, and he's expressing to them, hey, you're going to experience judgment. You're going to have all kinds of problems because you've forsaken the Lord. And there's this really vivid verse when we get to verse 13 in chapter 2 that I want to read to us, and then we're going to talk about here. It says, "For my people have committed two evils." Okay, this is Jeremiah the prophet speaking for God, speaking to the people, God's people. "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and they've hewed out cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that can hold no water." Now, there's some Hebrew parallelism here, some poetry that's happening. And so it's not that these are automatically two completely separate things. In fact, they may be functioning in parallel form, but I want to just observe here what I think is really interesting. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They've forsaken me, the fountain of living water." Friends, that reminds me of what Jesus said in John 7, 37 and 38. "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink, and streams of living water will flow from within." What Jesus said is, look, I'm the source of living water. If you come to me and if you drink, you're never going to go thirsty again. And here, that's reflecting an Old Testament principle. God wants to be the source of living water. And the beautiful thing about that, friends, is that with God, the water keeps coming. If we keep drinking, the water keeps coming. We don't have to make a backup plan. We don't have to store anything up. We don't have to save it for a rainy day, or in this case, a dry day. No, when we drink from the fountain that is God, there's always water available to us. And that's why the second half of this verse is so striking. He says, "For my people have committed two evils. They've forsaken me, the fountain of living water." They're not drinking from the source that is me, says God. But also this, they've also hewed out cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Now, I've been to Israel a couple of times, and I've seen some of these cisterns that cities would dig out in order to hold water in a reservoir for the dry seasons that are a part of the Middle Eastern climate. Okay, and these cisterns could often be quite large, and they would coat these cisterns with sort of this lime plaster that would keep the water in. Sometimes they wouldn't have to, because the bedrock there would be naturally it would function as a natural keeper for the water. But often they would need to coat these with plaster. And if you had a crack in the cistern, you can imagine what would happen. All the water would fall out. And here God is saying through Jeremiah to the people, look, you've got two problems. You've forsaken the living water, but you've also dug out cisterns for yourself. And you've gone to a backup plan. You've made it more about you than about me, says God to the people. And what does God want from us? He wants us to eat from His hand. Jesus said, "I'm the bread of life. If you eat from me, you'll never go hungry. I'm the living water. If you drink from me, you'll never go thirsty." God wants us to eat from His hand. And He's saying to the people, look, you've created a backup plan. You've made it more about you than about me. And by the way, your backup plan, it's broken. It's like that water bottle that was leaking. It would do you no good. In fact, it does you no good. And in fact, it offends me, says God to the people. I'm not impressed by your backup plan. I want to be not only your backup plan, but your only plan, says God. Friends, I wonder, how are you hewing out cisterns in your life today? How are you hedging yourself against disappointment, against maybe what you think might be failure or something unexpected in ways that are antithetical to who God is? Friends, don't dig out cisterns. Trust the Lord. And I'm not saying we don't think wisely and strategically and all of those things, but friends, there's only one ultimate plan, and that's to drink from the living water that is God Himself, that is Jesus. There's no backup plan. And if you're digging out cisterns and that's your hope and that's where you're placing your confidence, get ready, because those cisterns, they crack eventually. And in that space, you don't want to be turned away from God, who is the living water. Let's keep turning to Jesus today, friends. God bless you. Have a great day. And Lord willing, we'll see you again soon on the Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional.